Hey YouTube, Qualia here, bringing you guys my Musketeer Neonectar deck profile for February 2015. Always loved Neonectar since they first came out. Was a big fan of the Musketeers, and now that they have some super awesome support, thought I'd give you guys the deck profile. It's a pure Legion build with a lot of sick plays, so let's go ahead and get started. I run 4 Licorice Musketeer Vera, probably the best Legion of the deck in my opinion. Her one ability is a kill effect for Musketeers where you kill a Musketeer rearguard, check the top 5 cards of your deck, and call one. So it helps to build up the drop zone for the Legion abilities and your Musketeer abilities. And her Legion ability is when you Legion, choose all your Musketeer units and they get plus 3,000 to the end of the turn. So that includes both of the units on the Legion and all your rear guard. So it's a pretty big power boost if you can fill up. Sometimes, big game changers and finishers. I also run 4 Peony Musketeer Martina. She's the one where a little more defensive because she basically helps you keep rear guards. She has a +3 ability when she attacks if you have something in the same column. But her other abilities, you counterblast 1, choose 5 normal Musketeer units from your drop zone and put them back into your deck on the bottom, and then you check the top 5 cards of your deck and call 2 Musketeers to field from that. So basically you have to return 4 for the Legion, then 5 with her own abilities, so you really need to get cards in the drop zone, which is where Quintet Walls really come in handy with this deck. Plus I also run 4 of the mates for Martina. Probably one of the best mates for the deck. Torre, her ability is choose another rear guards with Musketeer in its card name and retire it. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if your vanguard is Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 4 cards of your deck and search for 1 card of Musketeer in its card name, call it to rear. So very easy to use this card. All your vanguard has to do is be in Legion and you get an instant kill for better field setup. And I also run 3 Saul. This is the mate for Vera. I only run 3 because his ability is pretty difficult to get off. It's a return to draw ability when his attack hits if your vanguard's in Legion. So you can return something to draw. But like I said, it's kind of difficult to get off, which is why I don't rely it too much. Mostly just use him for the Legion of Vera. And I also run 4 of the 12k attackers, Augusto, from set 8, so kind of difficult to scrounge these up, but probably your best thing for good columns. And then for grade 1s, I run 4 of the Quintet Wall, probably one of the only decks right now that I know that runs 4 Quintet Walls, basically because you do need to get cards in the drop zone, and this deck isn't too counterblast heavy. Everything is pretty much just counterblast 1, making the Quintet Wall very viable. It gets plenty of cards in your drop zone, guarantees good guards with the top 5 cards of your deck. You definitely need it to get a lot of your plays off. And I also run 3 Mierqis. This is the 9k booster. Basically, if you shuffle your deck during the turn that this unit boosts, it gets an extra plus 3,000, making it for a viable boost target for either your vanguard or your rear guard. For Rebecca, she is the one where you counterblast 1, kill something, check top 4 for another Musketeer and call to rear. Just good setup, viable ride target, and all that. I also run 2 Ruth, the 10k attacker. I only like 2 at the moment because the grade 1s are pretty important in this deck. And 1 of the damage on flipper, Suzanna. Might swap out 1 Ruth for 1 more Suzanna, but for now the damage on flipper I think is fine at 1. And then for grade 0s, I run the starter, Raisa. She basically is the only card in this deck that gives you a plus. When this unit is put into the drop zone, you can counterblast 1 if your vanguard's in Legion. If you do, check the top 4 cards of your deck. So along with the ability of the card that is being called, she has another superior call ability, so you get to call 2 units as well, so you don't really lose anything off of her sacrifice. And then for triggers, I run 4 of the Musketeer heal, 4 of the crit, 4 of the draw, and 4 of the stand. The stand is really good just for consistency. If you have to call any of the triggers, the stand would probably be the best one you'd want to get. So yep, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Qualia out.